Okay, so logic is very straightforward. If you are having view, then use the old one and just do the casting, use it. If you don't have the view, then create the new view. Okay, so that's what we are doing here. If null means it is not there, create new view using new all those blah blah blah. Okay, if you are already having means else condition, use the older one only, no need to create the new one, and set the image. That's all. Okay, other things will remain same here, many will be there. Okay, so get count. Okay, get count will be the method, same as your previous yesterday's get count. Okay, get image IDs, all those things will be there, so those will be remaining same, those will remain same. Now suppose my adapter name here is, suppose my public class. Okay, my adapter name is image adapter. Okay, suppose my class name is exchange, which is the one, tell me which is the supermost class, base adapter. Okay, so base adapter, then what we have to create the object of it, right? So we'll go to on create, we'll go to on create here. So view will do, find view ID, all those things will do. Now what you do, we have to create the adapter. So our image adapter equal to new image adapter. We'll pass the context so that we will be using while creating the view. Okay, so main activity dot this, so we'll be creating that adapter. Okay, now you just have to set this adapter. So suppose my grid view is grid view. I got the find view ID dot set adapter and use this adapter. That's all. Our concept will remain same, view data adapter. So only thing is there here, little complication than your previous one. If you understood this, then other things are same it is, whatever you have done earlier. Parent we will not use here, we will be using in the second last one when we do this customize of listing view, that time we will use it. Okay, sometimes this will be, so parent is, where you, so suppose you are having image view, then who is your parent? The activity where you are adding, the layout or whatever where you are adding, that will be your parent. Okay, so in this case if who is the parent of text view? Who is the parent of text view? Here in this particular example, who is the parent? This is your parent. Because text view is added on top of your relative layout, so relative layout is your parent. So similarly, if you want to get the parent, then this will give you the parent. So in this case, if I will do the coding, then this parent will give me the ID of this. So just immediate parent view you can get that idea from there. Okay. So we will be using it in the last example which we will do. Okay. Other things will remain same. Okay. So that's what is mentioned over there. Grid view. Then this one first we will do this. Then we will go to the second step. When I click on this, I will make it bigger. Okay. We will go step by step. Base adapter, this is the logic which I told now. If it is null, then create new one. If it is not null, then use the previous one by casting it and return your image view. That's all. Okay, this is the part 1, then we will go to part 2. When you click on this, we will go to the bigger one, all those things. Okay, so yeah, relative layout, this is the fresh project which we have created. Okay, so we will make it a linear layout. Whenever I am making it linear, which is mandatory, orientation is mandatory, vertical. We want to have those image views. So which is the view we want to have? Grid view. Width I will make it match parent. Height also match parent. We must have one ID. How to create an ID? Added a plus ID. grid view. I will give the name called grid view. Num columns, number of columns, how many number of columns I want to have. Suppose I want to have 3 number of columns, I will make it 3. Or else what you can do, you can do auto fit. Okay, horizontal spacing, you can set it 10 dp. Vertical spacing, same as your 10 dp, same as your text view, string, whatever grid view you had, right? Same only. Stretch mode, what was there? Column width we had set. Column width, anything which you are missing, I think it should be fine, no problem. If you want to have gravity, you can make it center. Exactly same as your grid view of strings. Okay, so we started with our view part. So our selection widget is done. Now where we should go? We should go to our this data part. Okay, so let's so before going to data, let's try to do the find view id for this, so that I can refer it, right? So we'll go here. How to do the find view id? Tell me. Private, which one we are using? Grid view. Okay, then what we do? We have to do find view id for this. Grid view equal to find view by id. Find view by id r dot id dot which is grid view. You do the casting. Yeah, so we are done with the casting. Okay, so we are done with the casting. Am I going fast or slow? If I'll go fast, just tell me. No, don't go. Otherwise, I'll finish. You will be just looking into that. Okay. Okay, so we'll do this find view id. Find view id we have done. Okay, yeah. Now our view part is done. Now what we need data. So what is the data? We can copy some images. Okay, so the way how we have done in the previous. So we go to help. So we can copy these images. If you want to have repeat image, we can repeat. Okay, just will change the name of this. So maybe repeat underscore 2. Okay, so how many images we are putting? 7, 6, 7, including this. Let's try to have 6 images. Sometimes images are heavy, so it might tell us that out of memory. So let's try to see. We will do that. Resource drawable. Paste those images. So we have pasted all the images. Now we can refer to those images by their IDs. Okay. So how will you refer? Tell me. Private int Okay, image IDs, you can give any name to this. We are creating the array, right? Okay, then r dot drawable dot img the IC launcher r dot drawable dot image, whatever image we have copied, right? So all the images are coming. R dot drawable dot button play, r dot drawable dot rest, r dot drawable dot which one, ये हो गया ना, बटन रिपीट, r dot drawable dot button repeat 2. These are image IDs. Okay, we had we got the idea of all the images. So for time being we are taking those images from resource folder. Most of the time this will not be the case. Okay, so the image will be coming from server only. We have to create the collection using maybe a list or something. Okay, now if you want to store the image in database, when we will study SQLite, okay, so what is the data type which is used? Any idea for images? int for integer, okay, text for string, okay, blob. Okay, so what is the data type name in your database? Blob. Okay, so it is blob. Okay, what is blob? Blob means binary large object. Okay, binary large object. So this is the data type which is specially for the images. For images in DB, okay, in database, blob. Okay, so yeah, now what happened, our view is done, our data is done. Now adapter, we have to create a new adapter. Okay, so we'll create one adapter. We will go here, public class image adapter, you can give any name, extends, which is the supermost base adapter, same one the way how we are doing yesterday. Okay, then alt enter implement. Okay, so all that will be implemented. How I did, observe me closely, go over there, press over there, then alt enter, then choose the first one, implement methods. Okay, automatically it will come. So all the method, overridden method will come. This one, this one, this one, this one, all of this will come. Okay, image adapter extends base adapter. And which is the most important method? Get view method. Okay, other methods will be as it is. I mean, nothing much changed. Okay, we'll create one constructor also. Okay, so why? Because we'll need the context, right? So see here, see this context we might require it. Okay, so what we do, we have to create the constructor. So what is the property of constructor? It will have same name as your class name, no return type, right? So public constructor. Okay, we will pass the context here, context. If you want to have the shadow, let's try not to have shadow. Okay, as yesterday Sunita told, right? So context. Suppose I'll give context 1. So now context 1 is not same as context, right? So you can no need to have shadow. So in this case, no need to have this. We can directly use context here. Okay, but if I am using context, because both my instance variable and local variable both are same, right? So in that case, this dot I have to use. Okay, in this case, as we are having different names, no need to use this. Even if you will use this, no problem. I mean, but not mandatory. Not mandatory. It is up to you whether if you want to use or not use. But in earlier case, shadow must be removed using this. Okay, this will come using your alt enter only. Okay, so you just concentrate here and here. Okay, so yeah, we will use this logic, the one which we have discussed, right? So if null, then create new one. If not null, then use the existing one. That's all. So we'll go here and here. We will create this if else condition. If convert view is equal to null, else will be coming here, right? Okay, and what each segment is there in your grid view? Image view. Okay, so we'll have image view. So image view by default you make it null. We are not creating any image view. Okay, if convert view is null means previous view is not available for you. You have to create the new one. So how will you create? Image view equal to new image view. What you have to pass? You have to pass the context. What is the context name here? Context 1 is your context name. Context 1 is your context name. Context 1 is your context name. Now what are the mandatory parameters? You must have the height and width. So how to have? Set layout params. New, which view you are working with? Grid view dot layout params. You have to pass the height and width. Suppose for timing I am making it height is 200. I will see in the screen how it is looking, then we will change it. Grid view dot layout params. Okay, if you want to set the scale type, dot set scale type. It is not mandatory, but it's fixed as well. Okay, layout param scale type. If you want to have the padding, that also you can set. Image view dot set padding. Set padding is the option, right? So suppose if you want to have padding maybe 10 dp. Okay, 10. Left, right, top, bottom. Okay, I hope it should be left, right, top, bottom. What that means? Left, top, right, bottom. Left, top, right, bottom. Okay. Left, top, bottom. Okay, so we got the padding. Now what we do? We want to, in else condition, I want to use the older view. Okay, so how will I use the older view? Image view equal to, I will use the convert view only. Okay, and we have to do the casting. So just cast it. That's all. Means it will, else condition is not creating your new view. It is using the old view only. Okay, yeah. Now we have to set the image view dot. How to set the image? Set image resource. I already have this image ID is my data source. If I'll pass the position, it should give me the data. Okay, and remove and return this image from here. That's all. Same logic, the one which we have written now. We have studied same. Don't type, okay? If you type more, then you will be in trouble. So just use your control space or the suggestions which is coming now, keep on using it. only type here will be your, this might not work with control space, this one might not work. So line number, line number 55 is the only one which you have to type, and other things will come in control space automatically. Okay, now what happened, our get view method is done. So count, how to get the count, tell me. Image IDs dot length will give me the count. Get item, how to get the item, image IDs, then pass the position, will give you the item ID, just pass the position. I mean, these are not mandatory. Okay, they are not mandatory. I mean, data might change. For time being, you just pass it. So now what happened, we got this image adapter. So I have to create image adapter equal to new image adapter. What we have to pass, we have to pass the context. What is my context? Main activity dot this. Okay, now what to do, grid view dot set adapter. That's it, image adapter. Over. We will run it. So it is installing our application. Yeah, so see here we got all the images. All images in your grid format. Previous example, you are having string, right? Now you are having, if you put more images, then all the images will come here. And again, grid view will have those scrolling by default. No need to have it. Same as your other views, which you have already seen. Okay. Okay. Now what we want to do, when we click on this image, we want to make it bigger. Got it, right? That is the thing which we want to do, right? So how will you do? You have to create one layout first, right? So let's try to create one layout. Resource layout.
Context we are passing by creating image adapter. Here the context is different.
With this image adapter we are passing context, right? So if you go here, when I am using create image view now, it is looking for context. That's why we are passing. Okay, because other class cannot give you context. Your activity on create can give you the context. Got it, right? Because we are creating as an inner class, right? इसको inner class में बना रहे हैं, तो इसके अंदर में इसका अपना context रहेगा, which we don't want. We want the context of my calling class, which is calling. ठीक है? तो ये we are using this, right? So अभी how to pass this data to your class? Constructor is the way, right? So we will pass as a constructor. Here we passed. Then what to do? As soon as I'll go to constructor, I'll initialize this variable and I'll use it here. So apart from your activity or the fragment, if you want to create any of the view, you must have the context of the view where you are creating. Alright, right? So context is very important. Okay. So yeah, as we have discussed context, let's try to talk about context. Okay. So let's discuss about context. Okay. So what is the context? In general term, what is the context? If two persons are talking, okay, so you'll go there, okay, and you'll ask them, uh, what is the context are you talking about? You will say, right? Typically, we say that, right? Then that guy will tell, "Arey yaar, we are talking about cricket." Okay, so now we'll say, "Yeah, I know cricket. I mean, there are many crickets which are happening. Which cricket are you talking about?" Then they will tell, "No, yeah, we are talking about one day cricket, ODI." So ODI is one of the context. One day cricket. Cricket is also one of the context. Okay. Now you will tell, yeah, ODI I know, but there are many ODI which are happening. Which ODI you are talking about? Okay. Then he will say India versus what is the name? New Zealand. New Zealand match we are talking about. Now again you will say India versus New Zealand. There are many match. A 5 match series is there. Which match are you talking about? Then you will say the final match which happened. I mean fifth ODI. Now again you can say, yeah, fifth ODI I can understand, but which incident are you talking about? Whether it is, I mean, India last over or which over? Are you able to understand? So the context might differ depending upon your whatever things are there. Okay. So but ultimately, who is your super context? If you see here, cricket is your super context. So all those came from your cricket only. So cricket, then ODI, then your all those. I mean, all those things came into picture. Okay, so similarly here also, whenever we work in Android, okay, so we must know where we are working, whether I am working in first screen, whether I am working in second screen, whether I am working inside fragment, okay, whether I am working, where I am working, I should know, then only you can do the coding in better way, right? Got it, right? So always we must know the context where we are currently working on. Okay, so typically if we'll see the bookish definition of context, so what is context? Context is nothing but the environment where we are currently running, or not, we are not running, right? So application is running. The environment where application is currently running. Okay, so the environment where application is currently running is called context. Okay, so it it provides all the necessary resources required for that environment. Okay. So context will provide you the necessary resources which is required for that particular environment. Okay. So that's why context is also called, it is a resource provider. Okay. Resource provider. Whenever you need anything in any of the context, what you do, just use the context and you can get all the resources which is required for that. Okay. So there are many types of context. First is called application context. Okay, what is an application context? Application context means it will give you the resources for of full application. Okay, so typically we use one of those method called get application context. This is the method name. What is the method name? Get application context. Okay, so it can give you similar to here who was our application. Cricket was. So cricket means everything. Okay, similarly here also application context means it will give you the context of full application, the application which you are creating, right? So it will give you the context of that. Okay, so but it is not advisable to use it. Why? Because it would be heavyweight. Now if I talk about cricket might have many things over there, right? So which is not good. I mean, it will become heavyweight, your application will become slow. So we will try to get as concrete context as we can. So in this case, as I told, which is the most concrete context, the fifth ODI, then which incident. So you don't have more data, only you are having data about that particular incident. But if you will talk about cricket can also give you that data, but it will be heavyweight, right? So the application might become slow. So what we'll do, we'll try to get as much concrete as I can, basically. Yeah? So here also, I mean, if you want to show that, as we are discussing here, right? So as we want to show this toast, okay? So here also you can use here something like here get application context. See? Get application context. Are you able to see? This will also work fine, but it will become slow. So we will try to have as much concrete. So which is the concrete one? Activity is your concrete one, right? So better to use your which one? Main activity dot this here. Main activity dot this. Then it would be fast for you. Okay. Yeah. Now coming back to this, I mean context. This is your first type of context. Okay. Now second type of context is called base context. Okay. Base context. So what is base context? Suppose if you are extending some class, okay, so suppose you have created a tapas class extends activity. So who is your base context? Activity. So you can take the context of your base. Okay, so for this we use get base context is your which will give you the context. So we will give you the context of your base, the super class basically. Okay, so I believe it should have it. Let's try to see whether it is coming or not. See, are able to see base context. This is the second type of context. Get base context. So here I am not able to do control Q. Okay, why? Because otherwise that recording will stop. So what you do while writing, just go over there. Control Q. If you will do, it will give you information about all those stuffs. Query. Okay, anything wherever you need. I want to know about this. Set content view, just control Q, just press it, control Q, it will give you the detailed discussion basically. Okay, this is one of the type of context. Okay, okay, and what is the third type of context? Third type of context is activity context. This is activity context. Okay, why activity context? And try to observe what happens over there is, okay, so typically our hierarchy looks like this. Okay, who is the supermost class? Object. Then we have this context as your class. Okay, below that we are having, I mean, maybe in this case, what is the one? App compact activity. App compact activity is one class. Who is the super class here? Activity will be here. Okay, so this is your hierarchy. Now this is similar to the example which we have already done, if you remember. Okay, so object, then animal, then dog. I mean, pretty similar to this. Okay, so now if I'll ask you, okay, all animals are dog, is it correct? No. Okay, if I'll ask you all dogs are animal, is it correct? Yes. Okay. Similarly, here if I'll ask you, all contexts are activity. Is it correct? No. All activities are context? Yes. So whenever I need context, can I pass my activity? Yes, because all activities are context. If somebody will ask you, hey, I need animal, can you give him dog? Yeah, dog. You told animal, you didn't tell which animal. I have given you the dog. Similarly here also, whenever anybody will need context, just pass the activity, it will behave like your context, because activity is the subclass of your context. Okay. So if you want to see the hierarchy, here also you can go, what do you go over there? See here, this fragment activity will be there. Okay. Wait, it is having many. So ultimately activity came into picture. Okay, so from here we, in between many things are there, don't worry about all those things, just go to the activity, who is this here. Okay, now if you want to see who is the superclass of activity, let's see who is the superclass of activity. See, context theme wrapper. Okay, so ultimately here also one class will be there, context theme wrapper. So do not go to it. Context theme wrapper. Okay, and above context wrapper, context wrapper, object, context, context wrapper, context theme wrapper. Okay, these two are not important, you can ignore, but as an understanding purpose you should know. So activity superclass, context theme wrapper, context theme wrapper, context wrapper, and who is the on the top? Context. Okay, so context theme wrapper, let's go to context theme wrapper. What is context wrapper is coming? Say, if we'll go to context wrapper, who is the superclass? See, context. So he is over there. Now if we'll go to context, it should be, if nothing is there, who is there? Object. Okay, that's why whenever till now, I mean, whenever we need context, what we are using? Activity, because of this reason only. Okay, why? Because all activity are context. So happily, whenever somebody will ask me, I need context, just pass activity, no problem. Got it, right? So this is the reason why here, when we are where is ours, this is the reason why whenever it is asking for context, I am giving my activity name, because activity is indirectly a context only, which might give me the resource of the, I mean, sort of bundle. Okay, bundle will be the good word for here. Now we are talking English environment, so it provides the resources bundle. So bundle required for that environment. Okay, so the resource will be in bundle form basically. Okay, so any point of time you need context, just pass activity, because activity is the most concrete context you can have. We can pass application context also, but it is not advisable. Okay, okay, so yeah, now we pass this. Now what we want to do is, okay, what we want to do, when I click on this particular image, I want to make it bigger. Okay, so what the first thing I have to do, I have to design the screen, right? So we'll go and design the screen. So we'll close all those because many things have opened up. Close all. I will go to here. I want to design the screen. Where I should design the screen? Layout folder. Control V. You give this something like single image, any name. I mean single image. Mono. Sorry, mono. Okay, let it be. So what is the one? Mono image is the one which I have created. Okay, and I want to have only one image view, right? So what we do? We will create the image view. So how to create an image view? Image view. I want to have only image. So what do? Match parent, match parent. Got it, right? Because I want a full screen as my image only. So match parent, height and width both. Okay. We might require ID also. It is best practice. Let's try to create a new ID. Image view. Image view. Image view. Okay. And for time being, by default we will set one image. So how to set an image? src is the one by which you can set the image. Default image I want to set my any of the image. So how to get the image? At the rate of drawable, and choose any. Suppose I want to have the default image is maybe play. No? So this is the image which I want to set it as default image. So my screen will look like this. See? My screen should look like this, This is the default image which I am setting. While going through, we will set the image which will click. Okay. So this is the screen which we have designed. Now what we want to do? We want, where is our main activity? Here. Okay. So how to get the click listener of your grid view? Set on item click, not selected, click, because we are having those grid view, right? So grid view we don't select, we click. Okay. So here also we have to do, we go to grid view, grid view dot, tell me what is the method name, dot set on item click listener. Okay. On item click listener, new control space, same as your click listener, you will get it. So automatically this will give you the position where you are clicking. Okay. First we will not inflate the screen, just we will have the toast. Okay. So toast new. Okay. Here clicked on. Okay. We will just show the position. Then we will show the position first. Then we will work with it. Okay. So now nothing will come. Only this toast should come. When I click on this particular grid view. Yeah, indexing is the last step. Then it should install our application. Okay. Now what will happen when I click on this? It should give me the which position I am clicking. Okay. Suppose I click this, what should be position? 0. Okay. I see. Clicked on 0. Clicked on 1. Click on 2. So we understood that when I am clicking on the any of the image, or maybe where I am getting the callback, this is the place, right? So now instead of first screen, I want to show the second screen. So what is the method to inflate the screen? Set content view. It will put the layout, right? So let's use it. So set content view. Set content view. Which layout we want to use? R dot layout dot, in this case mon image is mon image. That's all. Over. Now when I click on this, what will happen? It will become your mon image. It should show the second screen, the screen which we have developed. That's all. So now let's run it. Okay. So just click on this. Now wherever we will click, it should go to the same image. See, it became bigger. But not the same image become bigger. We have to write the code to get the image and set that over there in the second screen. Okay, got it, right? So now we want to set that image. How will you set the image? Tell me. How will you set the image? First, I have to get the reference of that image. Okay, so how to get the reference? What is the image view name? Image view is the name. So we'll do this. Image view equal to, how to get the reference? Find view by id. Find view id r dot id dot image view. Do the casting. Now you know the position, right? So can I get the image from position? Yes, array, right? So image view dot, how to set the image? Set image resource. What is the method name? Set image resource. Okay, image IDs. Okay, just pass the position. That's all. Over. Now what will happen? The image which you are clicking, I am getting the position and I am making it bigger in my bigger layout. That's all. Okay, so if I'll click on this 25% discount, then same image. If I'll click on the another image, then that image will become bigger. Okay, now what is the thing required? Now I want to have one back button. On click of this back button, I want to go to my previous screen. That is the thing which is remaining, right? So for that, what you have to do, you have to create one back button here. So this is you should not do this what I am doing. Okay, so I to be a hurry. Do we have any button? It is not there. Okay, so maybe we'll reduce the height. Okay, let's have one button first. So we will have one button, wrap content, okay, text back. We are having this back text. Okay, id, other id, button. Okay, I have given the id also. Okay, now this button will not be shown. Why? Because I already made this match parent, right? So this button is not coming. So what we can do is we can have some sort of maybe what is that, weight. Okay, so maybe I'll give this to 10. Okay, and this to 1. Just to see, yeah, so this button is coming. Sorry, I made it width, not width, weight. What is weight? Do you remember what we have studied? Weight means, what was that? Biryani, if you remember. So divide that biryani in 2 by 3. So here how I want to divide? 10 by 1. So I want this image to give add 10 as my space, and button how much? 1. So how many parts? 11 part. 1 part will get this button, 10 part will go to that image. Okay, so yeah, so image came now. Otherwise, earlier case what was happening, because I was making this as a match parent, a height also match parent, what was happening? It was not giving us this view, right? So it was, view was there, but it was inside, so you are not able to see. Okay, so weight is the way by which you can divide your screen in proportion way, basically. You can proportional way. Yeah, so we got this back button. Now let's run this code. I should be able to get this back button now. Whenever we'll so here I should have this back button. Okay, so suppose if I'll make this, you can see I'm on back button. So now what is your requirement? When I click on this back button, I should go to the previous screen. Okay, that is the only thing remaining. Other things are done. Okay, so now what we okay, so observe, try to think. So okay, whenever you start an activity, what is the first method gets called? Activity life cycle, which is the first method, on create. So on click of back button, if I'll call on create, where I'll go? I'll go to the previous screen. As simple as that. Didn't understand what I'm telling? On click of I will do button dot certain click listener on create, call it. It will go to the previous screen. Very simple. Okay. But problem here is, try to think. Okay. So what is the problem here? I can call on create, but whenever I am calling on create, okay, so what is the parameter is coming? Set instance. So I have to have one local variable which will save the data of this bundle. Next time when I will commit, I will just call the same thing. Okay, but this one will not work with the app activity. You have to make it your activity. Okay, so let's run it first, then we will check it. everything is working fine for us. Okay, apart from this action bar. Okay, so yeah, now here when I click on this back button, I want to go to the previous screen. Okay, so how I'll go to the previous screen? Tell me. First I have to get the click listener. So how to get the click listener? Where you'll get here, right? So here you are doing set content view. So you have one button equal to find view by id r dot id dot, which is the one button, right? So button, you got this button. Now I want to get the click listener, right? So how to get the click listener? Tell me. Button dot set on click listener new sim. Activity lifecycle first class we have done this, right? So how to get the click listener? So I got the click listener of the button. Now what I want to do, I want to go to the previous screen. Then what is the method? On create, because on create is the first method which gets called. Okay, but problem with on create is what you have to do, you have to pass this bundle also. So what I'll do, we will have one variable, local variable. Okay, local variable, and what I'll do, I'll make it as a 1, or you can use shadow also depending upon your things. Okay, now whenever first time your application will be launched, right? So what we'll do, we will just store this as the value which is coming. I mean, I had one local variable, I mean instance variable, which is storing the data which is coming in the same instance. Okay, now what you do here, on click, what is the first method gets called? On create. On create, just pass this, that's all, over, my task is done. So whenever I'll click on the back button, what will happen? It will call my on create, and this variable I am storing when I am coming for this screen, I mean very first time. What will happen? First time it will come, it will store this data. Next time whenever I'll click on the back button, it will use the same data and it will call on create. On create means first screen, not the second one. It is in the first screen. Over, task done. Okay, so we'll do this next one. Okay, so see here, if I click on this 25% off, 25% off, if I click on the back button, it went over there. If I click on this same one, if I click on back, there, this one, this one, this one, this one, got it, right? So this is the way how we will do. So only here trick is very simple, this on create with the bundle which is coming. All my friends are, I mean, getting married. Okay, and they are putting some pictures also on Facebook. Okay.